This guy is a fucking monster. When you stand next to him, I don't know if we've ever had a heavyweight champion as big and as mean looking as this fucking guy is.
I've been through a lot. I've been through hell. It was clear for me, it was set that I'm gonna become a world class. That life that I had was very hard, you know, because by the age of when I was 6 years old, my parents divorced and we started to live in different family. I never feel as I belong to some family anymore since when my family divorced. I wanted a way out of that situation.
This is the scariest man in the history of the sport. He's literally a 1 in a million type athlete. We're dealing with a guy who's capable of knocking any heavyweight unconscious with one punch that connects.
If you were gonna go into a lab and design a perfect heavyweight, you'd say want him about 6'4", 265, maybe a little heavier, has to cut a little bit, maybe 269, cuts down to 265, crazy freak athleticism, fast as shit for heavyweight, knock anybody dead with one punch.
To try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Down goes the Reem!
He did that to Alistair motherfucking Overeem.
Yeah, K1 kickboxing world champion.
Yeah, Strikeforce world champion.
Yeah.
Just a stud. That picture seems like the coming of the new king. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he's got to beat Stipe Miocic. Stipe is the most successful UFC heavyweight champion of all time. The only guy to ever defend the title 4 times.
Coming off of 4 first-round knockouts in a row. He is on a tear right now.
Oh, that's it! Stipe Miocic! This guy's the best heavyweight in the world. He's gaining confidence every time.
He is in his prime. And if Stipe can hold back Francis Ngannou, it cements his position as the baddest man on earth. It is the biggest challenge of his career.
I still don't know where I was. I don't know what was my feeling.
Oh, wow.
I don't know nothing. I mean, he was just something weird.
Stipe Miocic saw what he was doing, and what he did was just ride with it. Just moved away from it, kept his hands up. When Francis was coming after him, he used good defense, and he kept moving and kept picking away at him, taking his shots when they were there, and then started wearing Francis down, taking him down, beating him up, and then just dominated him.
All 3 judges scored this contest 50-44 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Stipe Miocic.
I still stay in that pressure because I feel like I disappoint all those people, you know.
You felt like you let people down.
Yes, like I let them down.
Derek Lewis and Ngannou called the worst fight in UFC history.
It was the worst heavyweight fight I've ever seen. It was the second lowest output fight ever.
They fought more during our weigh-ins yesterday than they did tonight in the octagon.
What is this? Are we looking at a highlight? Is there a highlight that we can watch? So look, listen, I mean, this is probably about all we saw happen in the fight.
The fear of let this happen again. What happened to happen again? Okay, I can't do that. I can't afford that. You know, I felt like pressed and I couldn't even breathe. I was like tired.
All right, Ngannou versus Blades. My first reaction on that is tough matchup for Ngannou.
I think Stipe laid the blueprint, and I don't see anybody better in the division to follow that than Curtis.
And I think his mental game's still off. He's still dealing with that Stipe fight, and he's afraid to kind of pull the trigger. And I don't think Curtis Blades is going to give him any room.
As far as I'm concerned, Francis can keep losing, and he can, go over somewhere else and try something else, because to me, he's irrelevant now.
By TKO, Francis the Predator Ngannou.
Yes, you've been here a hard time, but listen, man, I'm back. Listen, exactly what I'm saying. I'm back.
You're looking at a former #1 contender in Ngannou versus the most respected heavyweight to have ever done it. And by respected, I mean feared, in Cain Velasquez.
Trying to get some of that power out of him. Much has been made of Velasquez's injuries, but in terms of his body, he's never felt more confident in it. Oh, he got Velasquez's hook. And Ngannou closes the show! Oh, my goodness gracious! Has knocked out Cain Velasquez!
Wow. 1-2 down the middle. Boom! And we see, watch Cain's knee. It just gives out. Ooh, right there. Just gave out, just slipped, gave out, and then started eating some huge punches. I mean, that's all it takes.
13 months ago, we were talking about Francis Ngannou being a bust, being overhyped, not showing up to that title fight against Stipe Miocic. He showed up in the first round and then he fizzled out. He just did that to Cain Velasquez, coming off that win in November against Curtis Blades. To me, it seems like we were all wrong about Francis Ngannou and that he is still for real.
I mean, these guys are going to go out and box with one another. Junior Dos Santos is one of the finest boxers in all of MMA, in the history of MMA, quite frankly.
With Junior, he reached for an overhand right. He just really, really extended himself. You can't do that with Francis.
Declaring the winner by TKO, Francis the Predator Ngannou.
Francis, while effective as all hell, while having an extremely hard schedule, while getting pushed to the absolute max.
At first, nobody didn't believe me that I could do this sport. I could do a sport at this level. I mean, even my family, knowing that all the love that they have for me, but they didn't believe it. So I have to prove them.
Fuck that.